What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Stay Hot live stream. I'm Blaiden Kirk, joined as always by my two favorite co-hosts of all time, and Matthew Spinauer and Theo Ash. How are you guys doing today, man? It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's cold here in Ohio. We got some snow this weekend. Did you go sledding, Matt?
No, we didn't get nearly enough snow to go sledding.
You're right.
And even if we did, I'm a grown up. Actually, maybe I will.
Ah,
I live right next to a hill that I could go sled down in like 30 seconds. So maybe I
yeah,
would do that.
do it.
But I'd rather just like hydroplane in my car.
Bro's gonna go drifting
More
on some.
exciting, higher stakes.
I understand.
The
How you
Eagles are
doing?
not going to win the Super Bowl. That's how I'm feeling right now. Not going to
Yeah.
be front seven too bad, sadly. Not good. You didn't get enough pieces. They can't stop the run. Some team right now the 49ers sadly are winning the Super Bowl with all the talent that they've got and their defense combined with all the skill position talent on offense. That's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling. No team outside of the top 10 in pressure rate have made the Super Bowl in the last like 7 years or won the Super Bowl in like the last
Yeah.
7 years, except for the Chiefs with Mahomes and the Patriots with Brady. So you need a kind of an all-time offense or an all-time quarterback to sort of lift you if you're can't disrupt the opposing
Where
quarterback.
where do the Eagles rank right now in pressure rate?
Let me check real quick. But these last two games, the run defense, and I get Jordan Davis is gone, and this is why he should have been the first overall pick and was my high. My
Yeah.
high.
He's like the best run defender in the
You
league.
need you need him. They need him to be a good defense because they don't stunt. They don't run stunts. Okay, they don't do that. They don't
Yeah.
blitz. They just are dropping everybody back. And so to get pressure, they just need to win one-on-ones, and someone needs to win a two-on-one because they're going to rush four against five offensive linemen. So let's see where they rank in pressure rate right now. One sec. But I am concerned about the Eagles. I'm not concerned about the regular season record. I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to win a bunch of games even still. But they need more pressure. They need more pressure. Robert Quinn needs to play better than he did last night. He needs to be the guy that they not paid him to be because they paid him to be a fourth round draft pick or whatever, but we need more. We need to see more out of him. That was my main takeaway about the Eagles last night, and I'm about to pull up the pass rush.
I do worry that like when you look at how the time of possession, I think is like damning. Like 40 minutes time of possession for Washington. And they're like they're 5-5, but you look at like a team like Minnesota, far better, I think. So, if Philly gets to a point in the playoffs where they're playing like Dallas and Philly and Tampa, and those teams have 40 minutes time of possession or even 35 minutes time of possession, those are the kind of games that I think they're really going to be prone to losing.
Right, they're 21st in pressure rate in the league right now, so
Damn.
well below average, and that is what. And the run defense isn't very good either. So the front seven of the Eagles, someone needs to step up. Someone needs to step up because Washington, like they ran all over. They ran all over them. They ran all over them, and that's what happened against. That's what Houston did too. Damian Pierce like just ran all over him. Slay didn't play great. Terry McLaurin is a fantastic wide receiver who got him a couple times in this one. Like it's gonna happen. I'm not too worried about Slay or Bradbury. It's the front seven of the Eagles that really this game exposed. So I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be fine in the regular season. I think they can still get that one seed in the NFC. I think that can all still happen, but in the playoffs, like I am concerned about that. That's the one stat to really watch out for, and the one unit to really watch out for on this team is the front seven can lose them games, and will they be able to pressure the quarterback in the playoffs?
Yeah, that's going to be. But I don't.
I think
What?
attacking their run game super heavily, based on a game where they didn't have their best run defender is a little bogus.
It might be, but even with Davis in, like Davis is not someone who plays 100% of their snap, like their run defense, I don't even think, discounting or not counting the games where they don't have Davis, like it's still a little worrisome, and Davis isn't a big pass rusher. So like the pressure rate numbers are the front four, like it's deep, it's very deep,
But
and
it's
it's
not
good, but
great.
it's the high there's like a star that's missing, a star pass rusher. Like there's some really big impact player that's missing. Theo, argue about Matt where you put Herbert on it. I haven't seen Matt's tier
I'm looking
list.
it up. I saw that comment too. I'm looking it up right now.
Is Herbert in
He put
fraudulent
he
nerd
put
tier?
Justin Herbert.
I didn't
And
have that many tiers for this one. I was not that bold
so
with it, but
the list of tiers are elite, top 10 range, all right, mid, top 32, and backup. Justin Herbert is in top 10 range.
he's not. Sorry, I'm not giving him like elite. I put 3 guys in elite. I'm not giving it to him when he makes
Who
a
is
lot of
elite
mistakes
then?
in the
If the
off.
three, who's
I
the
just put
third?
Lamar, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes up there.
I think Herbert deserves to be there with Lamar.
Nope, he does not.
I think
I feel very strongly about this. Herbert is just the ultimate excuse guy. I'm so sick of it. He's top 10 range. He's not better than Josh Allen.
he's been better than Josh Allen, I think, like the last year, and so far this year, I think you could make the argument the way Josh Allen's been playing these past couple weeks.
No
Herbert is
shot.
Herbert is Josh Allen type of talented, led a better offense with worse pieces than Allen last year, I think. And then this year, I mean, the Chargers, like, you can call it an excuse, but they can't run the football. They cannot run the football. They're one of the worst teams in the league, and they can't.
Where's the Bills?
Whereas the Bills can't run the football, but they also can't stretch the field, which is the other thing that the Bills can do because they have Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, both of whom would easily be the best wide receiver on the Chargers. Honestly, they're like 5th string. Khalil Shakir might be the best wide receiver on the Chargers.
Oh my God! See,
No
this is
shot.
just
Now, Matt,
Who are you
Matt,
taking
Matt.
over Khalil Shakir on the Chargers? Like Josh Palmer right now? Like obviously Mike Williams and whatnot, but even he can't stretch the field or in a meaningful way. Like he can get there eventually and make a contested catch, but he's not going to be open. He's not going to stack a guy. So if you can't run the football and you can't stretch the field, what can't the defense do? What can't the defense do? Can the defense make a light box and still be fine? Yes. Can they have a heavy box and still be fine because no one's going to beat them over top? Yes. There's no answers for the Chargers, and they're not well coached. They're not disciplined. They're super injured. So yes, Herbert has a ton of excuses, and he's still playing relatively well with an average quarterback, with someone in the range
He's
of
18th in EPA.
a normal quarterback would be way worse. I'm telling you, in this situation. And last year he was number 1 overall. Number 1 overall in EPA.
This is after Josh Allen's disaster classes because Josh Allen has like 2 good receivers.
I know. I think that Allen and Herbert are in the same tier. I really do. I think that the two of them.
Josh Allen's better though.
Sure, I'll rank Josh Allen better. I'll say that I would probably do Mahomes 1. I'd still probably put Allen 2, despite the brain farts he's been having over the last couple of weeks. He's still like obviously offers a ton with his legs, and the talent is still there, and he's not dumb. I don't think he's dumb. Like it's not like it's not Jameis, right? It's just occasionally it's like reverts back into young Josh Allen. But I do think that Herbert has like last year Herbert having 5,300 yards and 41 touchdowns or whatever he had, leading the second best offense and being number 1 in EPA, and he had a MVP season that no one respects because he didn't make the playoffs because the run defense was so bad, and he was doing it because he had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, but the play calling was still not good, and both of those guys, in my opinion, are overrated. So I love Lamar though. I think I could put Lamar in that elite tier too, but I wouldn't put them in.
I would almost argue that if Matt, if you're gonna say, I do agree with you that I don't know. I would put Mahomes Allen in the elite tier.
I might just put Mahomes. I honestly think Mahomes is in a tier alone.
But if you're gonna
I thought about adding a Mahomes tier, but I thought that was too like
corny.
Yeah.
Too
yes, he's easily number 1. I agree, but I'm not gonna go in. He needs his own, and then I'm gonna put another tier that no one's in, so he has like some space, and like he's great.
Hey, but that would have done numbers though. The views.
Yeah, the views.
No, but I think if you're gonna put the knock on Herbert is like, oh, he's the biggest excuse quarterback. I think Lamar kind of falls into that tier as well. If you're going to say that, as like, oh well,
I have
he
no
has
problem
no.
with him having excuses, but like I put 3 guys up there. I think like I don't know, Lamar Jackson still, the Ravens offense still has been pretty good, or at least Lamar Jackson has. And I'm not just focused on the excuses, but like, oh well, he's in a mediocre offense. Okay, but even mediocre quarterbacks and mediocre offenses can put up mediocre, like, EPA per play or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think the Chargers offense is like that bad. I do
Might be,
agree.
man. It might be that. It might
Like
be
like
that bad. They
okay,
can't run and they can't get separation. It's what
I'm
can you do?
I agree that this is a complicated stat, but I'm looking around at EPA per play. I'm seeing Andy Dalton, Jared Goff, Ryan Tannehill, all sitting around where Herbert is. Do any one of those guys have some just super team?
Andy Dalton, were the other Jared Goff and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, no, they don't have some super team. I would say Goff has like giving even like an Amon-Ra St. Brown or TJ Hawkinson like type of talent for most of the year, and that offensive line would skyrocket Herbert upwards. Or but like Dalton certainly doesn't. But it's tough because like, well, when you look at there's just not been any big plays for Herbert because the EPA per play isn't weighed down by the bad things that he's doing because he doesn't throw picks. His pick rate is like historically low. If you look up lowest interception rates ever, like he pops up like with Rodgers and some other guys. So he doesn't throw picks. The Chargers sack rate is the lowest in the league, and it's not because they have the best offensive line. It's because he avoids the sacks. So the EPA per play is basically okay, it's the lack of big plays. It's not that he's taking negative plays because he just has eliminated that from his game. There are no negative plays anymore. There are no picks. There are no sacks, but there aren't any big plays either. And so then you ask the question, why aren't there any big plays? And is it because, well, Herbert can't make them, or is it because the wide receivers can't make them? And I know where I fall on that. And I do think that he could maybe try a little bit harder to make those big plays. Like Heineke has no arm strength at all, and he can still create big plays because he just fuck it. McLaurin is over there somewhere, and like maybe Herbert needs to do that.
Herbert doesn't have a fuck it.
No, he doesn't have a guy worth doing. But like maybe he should do it
like,
anyway because like you can't win just throwing checkdowns, which is what he's trying to do right now. All he's doing is throwing check down, check down, check down, check down. That's why it was so funny when Acho was like, he needs to learn how to take the check down. Like literally, Austin Eckler is going to finish this year with 200 receptions. So like I think
he's the best guy with the ball in his hands. Like the best guy in space is Austin Eckler.
He's not the best guy in the ball.
On that team?
Oh, and that team, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the league.
No. Oh hell no.
I was like, he's good, but I wouldn't say that. But yes,
no.
he is the Anyway, so I think there are valid criticisms with Herbert, like maybe he's being too conservative, but I also don't blame him because like guys aren't running the right route. Like they're not well coached. They're not in the right spots. Everyone is injured. He has no chemistry with any of them. He's almost thrown a couple picks this year because guys like have settled down when he thought they'd break outside or break outside when he thought they'd settle down. And it's just a mess. But Herbert in the still top 10 tier. I mean, you can rank him as high as 4th if he's in that tier and above Lamar. Like, I don't hate that. I think I would go Mahomes in his own tier. And then I would do like an alien tier with Herbert, Allen, and Lamar, who are just freaks of nature. And then
That's a good way to put it.
And then I would do a tier that's like just plain like smart and good, which I would put like Rodgers and Brady and probably Dak and Burrow and who else? Those are the guys who come to mind right now. Gino is honestly playing like that right now. You could probably
I had Gino in that. Gino in that guy. I like your way of putting it, but I hold on to the idea. It's like, well, his receivers aren't open, so he can't make big plays. So it's well then.
One day,
how can he? I must
put Lawrence in the alien tier too, since he's.
I must.
Theo's finding a way to.
Lawrence does not have the arm talent of Herbert or Allen. He has great arm talent. It's not
like that. No, it's not like that.
But I don't know. I'm not giving Herbert credit for plays that I swear to God that probably would have been a touchdown if his receivers are better. No, sorry.
All will be revealed. What's the quote from that one Papa John's? Like, stay tuned, stay tuned. The day of reckoning is
The
coming.
day of reckoning.
One
Stay
Justin
tuned.
Herbert's
Stay
day of
tuned.
reckoning.
Stay tuned. They're gonna draft. They're gonna draft Quentin, whatever that guy's name from TCU is, Quentin Johnson, and then it's all.
Who's
gonna,
the
all gonna
Tennessee
change.
guy?
I don't know, but it's all gonna change once they draft the TCU receiver, or something. I don't know. What else is there? What do you think about people saying Fields is better than Lamar? I throw my head back and I laugh because that is
Oh.
severely overrating
I mean,
Fields, I fear,
yeah,
who has
I
been
mean-
playing fine recently, but like let's see him not throw a pick six and sell the
Yeah.
game at the end before we start saying stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean he's done some really nice things. In the play after he threw a pick six, he ran for a 70-yard touchdown.
Right.
So I mean he has definitely shown a lot of promise, especially considering what we saw last year. It's gonna be a crazy offseason for Fields. It's gonna be like they're gonna get a receiver, right? They have to.
The hype machine on Fields is getting extreme right now, and I feel like we can all agree Fields is like taking some nice steps. Like
Yes.
obviously, like Bears fans should be happy with what they're watching right now. People should be excited. But I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that he's been the fantasy quarterback one over the last 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
And people are
Yeah.
like, wow, he's been the best quarterback in the league for the last 3 weeks. No, he's been the best rushing quarterback in the league the last 3 weeks. But I mean, last week he threw a pick six that was just idiotic. The week before he threw a pick that was also idiotic to the Dolphins, where he checked the left side. I can't remember exactly what happened, but he was scrambling around. There's no reason to release that football, and it got picked, but he got bailed out by a penalty on the defense, like down the field. So he didn't throw that pick, and there's been nothing. He misses a lot of kind of quick game stuff that I think he should pull the trigger on, and he abandons it to scramble around. So
Yeah.
people can say like, well, he's the more consistent passer than Lamar, and like maybe at his peak he would be, because at his peak like Lamar throws with such weird feet and from such weird platforms. I never think he's going to be the most like consistently accurate quarterback, but
And Fields has a great deep ball too. Like his
Yeah.
deep accuracy is phenomenal.
it is, yes, but Lamar is a more nuanced passer than him. I've seen him look off safeties. I've seen him throw with tons of anticipation. I've seen him throw from weird arm slots and like all these different kinds of things that I've never seen Fields do. So at the moment, like he is far and away better than Fields as a passer, and like Fields is carrying my fantasy football team too, and he's awesome to watch. He's like exciting. It's never boring with him, but yeah, it's gotten to like, is he the MVP? I've seen that take from Dan Orlovsky.
Come
Is
on,
like, he could be
dog.
the MVP if he keeps playing like this. Like, no, they literally lost last game, like largely because of his mistake. So
Yeah.
I don't think that that's true, but he is like, I don't want to be a Fields hater here.
It's
'cause I
always
do-
the worst when this type of thing happens. It's like someone starts to get hype and then it gets way out of hand, and then you're like on the other side of the fence all of a sudden. Not because you don't like the player, but because people have just gone
The
they've
fence
gone
has just moved
mad.
so far.
Right, or
Right,
a
it's like
goalpost
the
or whatever
divider,
we want to call
yeah.
it. But it's
from MVP on a 3-7 team. Yeah, a 3-7 team that's largely 3-7 because of his like just let's be honest, like the first 5 weeks of this season, he was not pulling the trigger on things he should have pulled the trigger on. He wasn't accurate. They weren't even letting him throw the football because they didn't trust him in the structure. Like, yes, that sounds like the most valuable player in football right now. Like, no, he's not. Kirk is MVP. Also, Kirk didn't even like play that well against the Bills. Like,
You don't want to talk about someone just like
Jefferson down there.
fucking Jefferson down there
want
somewhere.
to make an MVP
like-
case. This offense would be dead in the water without Justin Jefferson. Oh my god! Like, can you imagine if it was Thielen, Osborne, and I don't even know who their wide receiver 4 is? Like, this team would be 100% cooked. And in the Bills game, they would have been. I mean, he threw some bad picks in that game. He threw some bad picks and some balls that were hospital balls where like that Jefferson had to make weird adjustments to, or looked like great throws because Justin Jefferson like would do something incredible and like do something crazy nuanced. Like no, Kirk is not the MVP of his own team. Is of his own offense. It's Justin Jefferson as far as I'm concerned. And Kirk is playing like he didn't play bad this year. This season's not sabotage. They're obviously 8-1, but no, he's just because they're 8-1 doesn't mean Kirk means more to the Vikings than Mahomes or even like Lamar. To your point, Matt, earlier, like Lamar, I think has an MVP case because without him, like who else can you credit on the Raven? Like Devin Duvernay, Kenyon Drake, Greg Roman? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
I had something else to say.
There was just
what it was.
I had ESPN up and I started hearing like music.
I always try to pull up ESPN during the podcast, and it's a disaster literally every single time, man.
And it's like
because it's not all the time. It's just all of a sudden you get the end.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the page will load, and I'll literally go in and mute all the videos ahead of time, and then they just like unmute. Like, what?
I'm so incredibly wrong about the Chargers offense. What did I even say about the Chargers? Sorry, I don't have Herbert in elite tier because he's playing. Oh well, he's on a bad team.
He should have been an elite tier after last year. He should have moved to elite tier, and then I don't think anything about his play this year has brought him down. Like as bad as some of the results have been, and as mid as the team.
Whatever, he'll get there eventually. I believe in him.
Yes,
I think he'll get to that point soon.
Both wide receivers, both starting tight ends in the last game. Like he's missed Lindsley for large stretches of the year. Like I know what. And the play caller sucks. I don't know.
Whatever.
Let's see. Thoughts on Christian Watson? Better than Devontae, sadly. Devontae is.
You don't mean that.
He's just MVS. It just reminds me so much of Marquez Valdes-Scantling right now, and I think his ceiling is higher because he's even more athletic than Marquez Valdes-Scantling was. But in the last game, like he had bad drops, and for a deep threat, he doesn't track the football very well, and it popped up in the last game. But he's so big and fast that like no one can really hang with him anyway, even though he's not like very refined. So like you can hit him every game deep if you can put it on the money, like, and that's what MVS was. And so to be MVS like just a couple games into your career and he's been hurt, like if you can offer Marquez Valdes-Scantling's level of play with a higher ceiling once you figure some things out, you feel good about it. But right now he's like Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He is. I don't think he'll be the guy the rest of the way. Like I think of him more as MVS as like a number 2, and I would still like someone else to emerge. Like I guess you've got Lazard as your Devontae on the other side. I don't think that Watson is some insane like hybrid of both, where he's like, oh my god, consistently great at everything, and he's this fast. He's just that fast at the moment. That's how I feel about him. So, yeah.
If the Niners win the Super Bowl this year, what should they do at quarterback? Trade Jimmy Garoppolo. His value will peak. That is the highest his value could possibly be. You're getting like a first-round pick for him, maybe more.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't think anyone's giving up a first-round pick for.
Nah, man. They win the Super Bowl. Someone will. Trust.
No, they won't.
Someone will. The Panthers will.
No, they won't. Browns will.
What take of mine do I feel is the most misrepresented? I don't know. So most are properly represented. I feel like the Bengals 2-15 take. I don't think that was like misrepresented. I think that I just was wrong.
The most misrepresented one was when you said that momentum isn't real.
No, I think I don't think it's misrepresented. I think it's just what I said. I don't think anyone got it wrong. I think maybe that one was a little bit misrepresented because I don't know. I don't know which one it is. I think most of the takes that I get shit for, if they've been wrong, like no one, it's not like, guys, no, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that Tua is a game manager. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Like, no, you called Joe Burrow Alex Smith, and then when Joe Burrow started playing well, you're like, yeah, Alex Smith is good.
Well, he was good. Alex Smith was good. He was MVP, an MVP candidate in 2017 with Tyreek Hill and a good play caller. And that's kind of what I thought Burrow would
But
be
you
like a
didn't
high
think that
end.
Burrow was an MVP candidate level
No, I
player.
didn't think he. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't think he would be this good. I mean, I did think he would. I thought if he couldn't, I thought he'd get hurt again. That's one thing. I thought he would scramble around behind that offensive line and he would get hurt again, and then it would be like, well, what do we do now? So that's what I thought. I thought if he didn't get hurt again, eventually he could be like a good game manager. I thought he could be someone like who could keep things on the rails. If you give him a Jamar Chase, if you give him a great play caller, you know, he could put up some crazy efficient numbers. I thought he'd be like that kind of guy because he just didn't have the arm talent to me to be like a total game changer, like a Josh Allen or a Herbert or a Lamar or something like that. But
Yeah.
and I don't think that like I guess that one got a little bit misrepresented because I really like yes, like that's not exactly Alex Smith isn't like I think he'll be Jake Mettenberger or something like that. Like Alex Smith is still like a starter caliber quarterback in the league and a lot. But yeah, I don't know. Jordan Palmer said that wasn't a bad take though, so I'm gonna say that one vindicated.
To be fair,
He was the reason I had that.
Actually no, because Jordan Palmer
He
Palmer
fixed
also
Joe Burrow in the first place, as far as I'm concerned.
Jordan Palmer. Bro talked very highly of Bo Nix, and now all of a sudden Bo Nix like might be good now. So I don't.
Jordan Palmer. He also made Josh Allen good. I'm
Facts. No, bro's like actually him. What is something?
Darnold? He missed on Darnold.
Darnold's the only one, but like that's
just needs more
like
time.
what he's missed like 1 for 10. So like, what's something non-sports related you guys disagree on? Who is the greatest guitarist of all time?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure there's something I'm not thinking.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I don't know either. I don't have much. Well, you think Billie Eilish is the greatest singer of all time, Blaiden? And
I don't know. She's one of the best singers I've ever heard.
That's
easily.
Stupid.
But like,
come on, man. I like Billie Eilish, but over Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston.
That's Michael and Whitney might have.
That's Michael, Whitney, and Billie Eilish. Come on,
Billie Eilish.
Billie has one of the
most replicable voices ever. Her voice is extremely easy for like anyone to replicate because it's so soft. You don't need pipes. You don't need it. It's just like
she has incredible range.
She has good range. She has great vocal control. Like she is very good vocally.
Will hold like she can hold notes like.
But if you're like in a high-end choir, you should be able to sing a Billie Eilish song and like kind of crush it because she's like whispering for most of it. I've seen so many like talented. I have lots of friends who are like talented vocalists who will post like a Billie Eilish cover on their story, and they sound exactly like her. Like because she's not not that they aren't talented or that Billie's not talented. Is she just has a voice that's replicable, or the songs she sings are like not exactly. I think like no one can just go out and sing a Whitney Houston song. No one can just go out and sing like even if you're talented, like
right.
You can kind of go out and you can.
Yeah, I've performed Happier Than Ever at open mic a couple of times.
Right? Are you gonna go? Perform?
I have never once attempted, fucking Thriller.
Yeah, no one can. You should never do that. So
yeah, no, it was so funny at Battle of the Bands last semester. I was in math class for like the first couple of acts. And when I came back, everyone was like, bro, you missed it. Someone did, a band did a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody and it was terrible. Because they had one vocalist try and do all the vocal parts.
That's not good.
I thought it was very funny, but I have not seen.
Have you guys seen the Grammy nominated song of the year choices? It's so funny.
No, what is it?
One of them, the first one is ABCDFU is one of the song of the year candidates, the TikTok songs.
Oh God.
It's so bad. The Grammys are I don't understand what they're doing, and it's not even worth getting mad at this point because like it's just not, and everyone knows what is bad about it. I know God Did by DJ Khaled is nominated for Song of the Year. There's a Harry Styles song, As It Was, About Damn Time, Lizzo, Easy on Me, Adele, which like they're fine songs or whatever. Bad Habit by Steve Lacy, but the one that really floored me was A B C D E F U, which makes me feel wildly
the TikTok awards, I'm
embarrassed and
afraid.
awkward even reading the name of that song, much less hearing
The
it.
rap, apparently the rap album nominees.
Oh,
pretty bad.
Jack Harlow got a nod.
No shot.
Yes.
Oh. Did Joey Badass at least get a nominee?
No.
2000 was great.
It was very good.
It was so good.
Yeah, that one was good. JID had an insane album, I thought.
Yeah, JID's album was good.
Yeah,
did he get nominated?
No.
Yo.
No, the only like real rappers who got nominated that like you would respect are Kendrick and Pusha T. And then the other one, I guess Future got a nod in I Never Liked You. DJ Khaled got a nod and Jack Harlow got a nod. It's like, who
DJ Khaled and Jack Harlow?
And I legitimately think the Grammys, I think it's just an algorithm that chooses these things. I don't think it's people. I think that's my takeaway. Is like something about sales and impressions decides these, because there's just there's no way a real human person listened to all the rap albums this year and we're like, yeah, Come Home the Kids Miss You was arguably the best. Like no one thinks that.
Yeah.
Denzel Curry didn't get nominated. Like he had just a crazy album. So I have it's so funny, but yeah, it's who is listening to DJ Khaled? I don't know. Only
I've never heard anyone in my life put on
DJ Khaled?
I've never heard it put it like. Are they?
That's people overuse that one like J. Cole line that he had where he's talking about fake streams or whatever. But if there was gonna be one, because I don't hear it. I guess clubs and whatever, but
yeah,
I don't know any like person I've heard put it on.
No, I just complete like it's industry plan. Like it's legitimately this is like what industry plans look like. Freddie Gibbs had a great album this year. Like Black Thought had a great album this year. And I'm not the world's like craziest rap fiend who has like strong opinions, but like I heard some very good rap albums this year, and like Jack Harlow is not. His song with the Fergie, the Black Eyed Peas, I don't even know what it's called. The hook for The First Class is one of the worst songs I've just ever heard in my life, and it's like the most popular song on that album, which I guess is potentially the best album of the year. So I have no idea. Can you guys name a single DJ Khaled song outside of the one I'm looking at now on this list, which is God Did?
Yeah, I was about to say, I can't. Like what the
I'm sure I can if I thought about it long enough, but not off the top of my head. Yeah. No, I can't. Brutal.
Bro, I didn't even know Megadeth dropped anything this year.
I didn't either.
I'm looking at the the list. Bro, no shot Muse is getting a nomination for Best Metal Performance. No shot, dog. Calling Muse a metal band is disrespectful to metal music.
They also did not release. Oh wait, they did.
They did. Muse did release an album. I don't like it. I love Muse. I do not like Matt Bellamy. Matt Bellamy is one of my favorite like individual performers. Like that dude has an incredibly powerful voice. He's a great guitarist, but this album is not it. It's not it.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought 2022 was kind of a down year for music in general. I thought last year was a lot better. There's nothing really I feel strongly about from 2022 that I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it. There's like last year I made a video on my top 5 albums of the year, and I felt pretty good about all 5. This year there was a bunch of albums that I liked, but nothing I really. There's no whole lot of red that dropped this year. You know, Cardi didn't drop. What's the point?
I'm trying to I know my favorite album last year was the Jiraiya album that I speak so highly of. Jiraiya, he's like this solo
You've
artist.
Mentioned it before.
Yeah. He dropped an album called A Beginner's Guide to Faking Your Death. It's phenomenal. Yeah, that was my favorite album last year. Nothing this year. I don't even think it's come close. Pusha T's work was good. Kendrick's album was good. JID's and Joey Badass's album was good.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's just
Yeah. Anyway, that's the
Yeah,
Grammys
music.
talk. But
that's the Grammys.
I don't know if anyone had any.
But I think
albums
we
that
mostly
changed
agree
their
on
stuff.
that. Like mostly agree on music too.
Basically, I don't know
Yo,
who
Hollow
should have been
Body
song
didn't
of
get
the
any
year, but
nominations.
not that.
Hollow
We-
Body
we
didn't get a
dis-
nomination.
We
Come
disagree
on,
on some TV show rankings
Is
and who should like
did
what.
did art peak when we were all 5 years old? Is something that we disagree on.
Tom and Jerry clears.
Tom and Jerry as good as Mr. Robot or Game of Thrones? No, they don't.
Better, actually. Nah, I saw a TikTok. It was like, so I can post 10-minute videos now. So here's an entire Tom and Jerry episode. You couldn't do that with a Breaking Bad episode.
It's
I
the
can't-
bite-sized chunks that you love.
Yeah, you don't have to think or just comprehend in general.
It's very relaxing.
TV
I spend
shows that
all
you have
day
to think.
thinking, and I spend all day thinking and comprehending. I took a graph theory exam yesterday. That was the hardest exam I've ever taken in my life. The last thing I want to do after that is watch a show where I have to comprehend shit.
Well, maybe that's why your test was so hard.
You're right. I should be watching, what's that one movie they used to show us in high school? Numbers. I should be watching Numbers.
I don't know.
I have no clue what you're talking about, man. I really hate to break it to you, but
My bad, dog. Top 3 movies. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith.
We're one of the worst Star Wars, sadly.
No. What?
None of the prequels are like that, man. None of them are like that, man.
You were the chosen one. It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness.
all right.
Doesn't move me. So that's number
This
one.
does not move me.
That is the greatest movie of all time.
It's so not, man. It's so
is.
not the greatest movie. of all
It
time.
is. It is. Like, I fear.
The acting isn't the best. The effects aren't the best. The writing's not the best. The
The writing
characters
is
aren't
the best. The writing
You've
is
never watched a
absolute-
movie with good writing. You have never watched You have watched like Steven Universe exclusively, and now you think that this is the best best.
First
written-
of all, Steven Universe slaps.
because you've never watched anything else. you have nothing to compare.
Hey,
this
I was
to.
literally watching
drives me
Steven
crazy.
Universe last night, dog.
I know. I don't doubt it. You have nothing to compare this to. You've never watched something with good writing. So when you say
Nah,
it's the
I've
greatest,
watched. What have I watched with good writing?
nothing.
Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs is good.
Okay, yeah, that is good. That's better written
that's-
than Revenge of the Sith.
No, it's not.
Anthony Hopkins shouldn't just said, "Clarice, you're the chosen one. Clarice, it's your mission to catch the killer, Clarice." Literally, no. No.
I have watched Ninjago. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Ninjago.
Oh my god.
Doesn't move me, I fear.
Yeah.
Maybe I should check it out. Maybe maybe it has
Top
good-
3 movies, though. That's a tough one. Blaiden, what was the rest of your list?
I'd have to pull it up. It was so Revenge of the Sith I know was 1. I think okay, here it is. So I had Revenge of the Sith 1. Batman Begins was number 2. Rocket Man was
I've
number
never seen
3.
that one.
You haven't seen Batman Begins?
Rocket Man.
Oh yeah, Rocket Man. Then I had Matrix Revolutions, which is the 3rd one. And then I had Ender's Game, which honestly I might move down because I went back and rewatched Logan. Logan's top 3. I love Logan.
Logan's like a solid. It's solid. Yeah.
I love Logan. So I might move that up. The Greatest Showman. I love that. Remember the Titans.
Who in the
Rocky
comments
4.
is debating Ninjago versus Steven Universe?
This is
Remember
the
the
kind of
Titans.
sports show that you don't get anywhere else.
Rocky 4 and Dark Knight.
They're talking about anime in the chat. I've seen one animation. I've seen a
Blaiden
couple
would like
episodes
anime.
of some anime.
I've never watched anime.
I don't like anime.
It's.
I mean, I guess if like Pokemon counts, but I wasn't even a big Pokemon fan.
I've watched a couple episodes of One Punch Man, which I've slightly enjoyed. I don't think it's like the greatest thing ever or anything, but One Punch Man is all right. The episodes are like 30 minutes long. It's not. Matt, I know you've talked about the pacing and the
Dude, it's like the idea of like, well, there's just some episodes where they're like not doing anything. It's a filler episode. Or people will post those videos where it's like they kept this animation going for 3 straight minutes for the sake of getting. It's like, well, that sounds horrible, you know. That doesn't sound fun to watch.
To save budget.
Yeah, so I haven't seen an anime that I really like, and I have given it like a fair and honest chance, and I've probably tried 2 or 3, but you know, there's no amount that you can try where people's response to it won't be like, well, you just watched the wrong ones. Here's my favorite one is the one you need to watch.
Yeah, actually, all you have to do is watch. What's the one that's like has 900 episodes or some bullshit?
Episode 600, dude. One Punch Man. The interesting thing about One Punch Man and the dialogue in it, I think it's a good show. I think it's fine. I think it's pretty. I think it's funnier than I would have thought it would have been. Is One Punch Man, but the dialogue is always so funny. It's always so like literal and direct. He's like, I am going to be a hero. I am going to go train for 3 years. I trained for it's just very like literal all of the time, where it's like, you are the monster and I am going to beat you now. Like that's legitimately like what the dialogue in One Punch Man sounds like. He's like, I was in a lab and I tried to destroy the world because my brother, and it's literally, instead of like, it just is like a guy talking like that. He's narrating like, for 5 years I was in the lab. Humans wrote me off, but I will come back and exact my revenge. And then like One Punch Man will look up
It's
and
like
be
Giannis.
like, that man is destroying the city. I must go stop him. But it's the dialogue is just, and maybe it's part of the translation. Like I'm reading the subtitles, obviously, so maybe it's something like that. But it's just like it's also supremely direct, and it's like I don't think I can put it in the same level as like some of the great TV shows with like really, really gorgeous writing when the dialogue is like, I don't know if I'd consider Seinfeld dialogue gorgeous, but it is
I
fun.
would, man. I love Seinfeld.
Seinfeld is good, but yeah, I don't know. And that maybe, you know, I don't know. I'm not, yeah, whatever.
Oh, One Piece was the one. Bro, I remember when I was like training for track still, the guy that was coaching me was like, he's like, dog, you gotta check out One Piece. If you is it like he was trying to put me on him, is you gotta check out One Piece. I'm like, oh yeah, how many episodes is it? He's like 900. I'm like, what? Like, how am I supposed to watch that? I'll come back to you in 4 years when I finish it. Like, what?
Okay.
Someone said that WALL-E is the best Pixar movie. You are correct. Yes, it is.
I gotta look at what are all the Pixar movies, because like Pixar versus Disney movies.
WALL-E's up there. WALL-E's up there.
It's number 1.
It's up there.
It's by far like the funny. It's like just like the little robot dude in the trash roll. It's like that's a funny idea.
I like Monsters Inc. Cars.
Cars is up there too.
Cars
is so
sure.
sick. Cars
Ratatouille.
is so sick.
Ratatouille's got to be up there.
Ratatouille's up there too. Yeah.
I like The Incredibles are up there.
I like Up.
Up is fine. I think all the Toy Stories are a little overrated.
Oh, Toy Story is so overrated.
agree.
Maybe the most overrated movie of all time is Lion King. It's all right.
It's just Hamlet. It's literally just if you had to read Hamlet in school.
It's just Hamlet.
Literally just Hamlet.
It's like it's fine, but why is this like considered like one of the best movies ever?
Cars is better.
I'm up for a loss. I have no clue.
Cars is
Hamlet. It's literally just like call Hamlet the best thing of all time, because Lion King is literally just Hamlet with lions. They just took it and copied and pasted it. The brother died, like all of it. It's literally just Hamlet. Yeah, Toy Story is fine. I like Toy Story. I don't think it's bad. I just don't. Everyone has it as like it's probably the consensus #1 Pixar movie where I don't have it. The most overrated movie of all time and a movie that is terrible is Inside Out is another.
Yeah,
Disney.
that is literally
is
my
not.
least favorite movie ever.
I
That
don't.
movie
It is not my
so
least
fucking
favorite
ass.
ever. It's not great. Coco is good.
I haven't seen any of the new ones because I just
You haven't
haven't.
seen any of. Have you seen Cars 3?
No.
Interstellar is boring. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, there, buddy.
Bro, Interstellar's
we like
great.
Interstellar.
Interstellar's great.
I haven't seen Finding Dory. I haven't seen Coco. I haven't seen Soul. I'm sure these things are all good. Like I haven't seen Turning Red. I'm sure they're all. I haven't seen Luca.
I saw Soul like once.
I haven't
but
seen any of the new ones either.
It was like with
So
a
I
group and I
can't
fell
speak.
asleep.
Lion King
Incredible-
has good
Incredibles
music.
2 is
That
okay.
ain't enough, man. That's like pretty like I mean,
bro, great score can like make or break for me, honestly.
no,
Like,
it totally cannot.
Star
for me,
Wars-
to be completely honest.
part of one of the reasons why Star Wars is so high, the music is immaculate.
Star Wars has some sweet music, man, but like
John Williams
ultimately,
knows.
music cannot save or make a movie.
I think it can.
No,
I don't think it can.
I think that's a kind of an awful take.
It can't make them. It can't make.
If
them.
you
It
have
could be
a
a
great
horrible
scene-
movie,
if you
and
have a
then
great
hear the
scene
song, and
with-
it's like because I mean you can leave the movie and listen to the soundtrack, but you do need to put like a bunch of things together for it to be a good movie. But
I think
this
this take is completely based around the fact that Star Wars has good movies. I don't think that makes any sense at all. You're saying
Maybe.
a mediocre movie with great music is a great movie? No,
Maybe.
you're wrong.
I guess I've never seen like a
Nope.
mediocre movie with great music.
It can't save a movie, but it can enhance a movie. My favorite, one of my favorite movies of all time is largely because of the score, and I don't think it's a bad movie, but I love the score, so I remember it very fondly. But it's not like it was a bad, like if the score was worse, it would have been a bad movie. It would have been a good movie. But something that's The Last Black Man in San Francisco, the score of that movie is amazing. Like that, I listen to it all the time. It's probably one of my most listened to albums. So I can respect a good score, but it can't. If that score was in a movie that I hate, The Game with Michael Douglas, I hate that movie. The Game wouldn't be a good movie all of a sudden. Yeah. You've seen a bad movie with great music, Revenge of the Sith. Yes.
No. Greatest movie of all time. Theo, have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, I have not. I have not
That's a
seen
good
that
one.
one. That one I'm willing to give a chance. I'm sure it's good.
It's great. It's great. Core is pretty good too, but Avatar: The Last Airbender is
Beautiful
Or it is
film.
whatever.
The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Yes. Is that Michael hyping up that? Let's go, Michael.
It's either Michael or Daniel.
Yeah, that movie rocks. No Country for Old Men has no music at all, and it's amazing. Yes, the Coen brothers are my favorite directors. Those guys rule. So, Jago is great.
I don't know why the Ninjago.
Let's discuss Ninjago's score right now.
I'll say this about Ninjago. When I was like probably 10 or 11 years old, Ninjago had a big pirate ships Lego set. And from birthdays and Christmases, I saved up to buy it. I never watched the show or the movies, but I did buy the Lego sets. And like at the time, my biggest purchase ever was a Lego Ninjago like pirate ship set that was like $100, and I bought it as a.
It's
as a-
sweet.
I had the
Ninjago
Lego Death
wise was
Star.
sick.
It was cool.
Yes.
There was Ninjago is also the last, I think, Lego thing that was an original, like an OG Lego, like original. Like they used to have like power miners and like weird like knights.
They had some
aliens.
Atlantis ones, and they had like keys you could collect, and then you would like turn the key, and it would like open the
Yes.
gates. It was
I remember.
sweet.
I know exactly what you're talking. I remember all those, and then Ninjago was, I think, the last one of those. And now I don't really think they make original stuff anymore. It's like you can buy Star Wars stuff and Avengers stuff, and then like models, and Lego City is still a thing, obviously. So
Yeah.
I think Ninjago was the last like OG Lego things, which is too bad. And the capitalist society that we live in has destroyed the commercial society that we live in has destroyed OG Lego stuff, and now it's just all franchises and products because Disney probably bought Lego and just pushes a bunch of Disney shit, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's
I had the
terrible.
Lego Death Star, but
That's a big one
was-
too. My friend had that. I was so jealous.
was crazy.
As like a 9-year-old with all the rooms.
it was huge. I mean, it was like like 4,000 pieces. It was some crazy shit.
Can you guys talk about some ball, please? No.
No, actually, I here we'll talk about. I played basketball today in class. We played this game called Bank. I don't know if you guys know what Bank is. Where it's
I
like,
can guess what it is based on the name. And
Well, it's just like you shoot it. Like you go around the arc. First person shoots. If they make it, there's like one in the bank, and if the next person misses, they get a point.
that just sounds like horse to me.
It's kind of like horse, but if you bank your shot in, it like switches order. Basically, that's like the only difference. But yeah, it's a lot like horse.
I would have loved Ninjago. That's right.
But you don't shoot from the same spot. You shoot from like your spot on the arc.
Okay.
Basically. But I won today.
Hey,
So I'm the GOAT.
you want a shooting game?
I won a shooting game, man. Like that's crazy, isn't it?
Someone said Lost in Translation is their favorite movie. I do get it. I think that's an interesting movie.
Let's see. We have the podcast for
Read
sports,
books.
right? I'm
Read
reading Don
books.
Quixote right now. Good book.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good book.
You're lying like Braun right now, man. You ain't reading.
I'm not. Even
I'm
gonna
not
lie
that
to you,
far
like,
into it,
I
but
don't
I'm
read.
reading it.
That's
Naturally.
literally.
Go
That
ahead,
is
turn to
literally the.
the
You can ask me my favorite part in the book so far, and I'll be able to give you an answer
okay.
instead of saying there's so many great parts I can't just choose one. My favorite part is when he goes back home all exhausted and he's sleeping, and all of his assistants and like a priest go into his library and they read the books to see which ones to get rid of so he doesn't think he's a knight anymore. And the guy who makes the decision just is like basically just reviewing all the books and telling him to get rid of all the bad ones and just keep. He's like, oh, I know that author, like keep it. And then he's like, I've never heard of it, get rid of it. And then he just keeps all the good books and throw out all the bad books. That's the best part of Don Quixote from where I'm at right now. LeBron's not giving you an answer like that.
He's like, oh well, you pick.
What's your favorite Godfather line? Man, there are just so many great lines from that movie. I just can't just pick one. So shameless. Are the Hawks contenders? Is a question we've got a bunch. No,
Yeah.
they're not. They're not.
Breaks my heart.
Sadly, they're just not good enough on defense, and they don't have a player like Trae Young is good and all, but they just don't have the high end talent to get all the way. They're not built like the Celtics last year, where their defense has this ridiculously high ceiling, and they're not built like the Warriors, where not only do they have a great defense, but they've got a guy like Curry that makes their offense with a ridiculous high ceiling. You need like one of those. You need to be top 10 in both, ideally. And I don't know if the Hawks will be top 10 in either. Like they're good, they're solid. Trae Young is great, but I don't think that they're contenders. Matt, I don't know if you disagree with this at all, but they're playing contenders.
Yeah, I would actually agree. I don't think
Yeah.
they're contenders. I think they're contenders to get to like the conference finals. I give them that. But I think winning the finals would be pretty tough. But who knows? It's not unthinkable. I'd say they're
contenders to go on runs like they've gone on. Like
they're pretty fringe, is what I would
but
say.
yeah, is Squid Game good? I've never seen it. Have I
Neither
watched
have
Stranger?
I, but I do know.
Neither you guys watched Squid Game.
No, I do
You
know.
were, this is like a major. It was but you didn't even check out. It's one season. You didn't check out
didn't.
Squid
No.
Game. It's super
didn't.
okay. It's not that good, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's fine. I thought it. It was entertaining.
everyone understands the concept of it. I just think it's funny.
I feel like I could tell you exactly what happened in season 1 of Squid Game. Like, even though I never.
I would probably believe you. I don't specifically remember it all that well.
Matt didn't watch it either, actually.
What's your
My
favorite?
favorite. There's
Squid
so many
Game?
great moments in
There's so many great
Squid's
Squid Game
game.
moments.
Squid's
What's your
game.
favorite Squid Game moment?
Man,
No,
I
it's
love
like
Squid's
there
game.
was.
Man.
It's like how Mr. Beast did his like copy of Squid Game, and it's just like completely
Oh, right.
and everyone's just like, brother, you just like completely missed the point as to what Squid Game represented.
Mr. Beast's
Dude,
game is
you
just
missed
insane.
you missed the point of Squid Game. Yeah, he doesn't care, man.
I
Well,
know,
the point of
I
Squid Game
know.
is like a critique of
It's a
Dude, this is a
yeah,
critique of
the
capitalism. He
capitalism,
says it.
right?
He's
And
like,
it's
I'm pretty
Mr.
sure that
Beast is like giving
The
away
most-
like tons of money, right? So
to
it's
but
kind
to
of-
his like other rich friends.
right.
Like
no, I'm pretty sure the Squid Game episode was random people.
yeah, but in Mr. Beast, it was random people.
Yeah,
No, well, either way.
I have seen Mr. Beast Squid Game.
Okay.
So,
I've never seen a.
what was
Mr.
your
Beast
favorite
video.
quote from Mr. Beast Squid Game?
Man, there's so many great ones.
I just one.
What's your favorite Mr.
It's
Beast
such an
quote?
iconic line. It feels disrespectful.
What's your
to the
favorite?
others.
What's your
There's-
favorite?
if
What's your
you
favorite
can-
PewDiePie quote?
That's yeah. I don't know. It's your thoughts on Stranger Things. Stranger Things season 1 is generational, and then everything since then is bad. Is my take. I think Stranger Things season 1 is amazing. It was such an iconic moment. It was perfect. It was a great callback to the 80s. It felt nostalgic even as you were watching it in real time. The kids were great. It was all charming, but it was too popular for its own good. And they were going to do a series where they were going to go 1980s, and then it was going to be a whole new cast of characters in the 1990s, and they were going to do their own little thing. And then it was going to be that was their original plan. And I think it's very clear in the seasons past season 1 that they were like, oh, this is so good. We're going to just bring everything back, and we're going to write a whole plot. Like, I just think it's so clear in the seasons past season 1 that they were just not prepared to have to write it. I 100% can feel that from the writing, and they have no idea what to do with Will Byers once they actually rescue him. Like in the next couple seasons, they're just like,
They're
he's just
they're
like there
in.
and crying, and he's just like, oh my god,
It's kind of the same thing with The Walking Dead. I think their biggest problem, where it's like, it seems like they want to kill off people for the sake of killing them off, because it's like, killing someone off. Oh my god, dude. Who do you think they're gonna like? They've confirmed that 6 people aren't gonna make it out of the final episode. Oh, it's like, I like Stranger Things, okay, but they weren't ready for it.
They weren't ready.
And
They were
not
not
only that,
ready.
they don't want to actually kill anyone off. They're way
Right.
too scared to. They keep like what
They need to sell
what was-
Funko Pops immediately.
Yeah, it's like, they're gonna sell, like, I don't know, man. So I think it, for the most part, has not been super awesome.
I watched seasons 2. I don't even remember what happened in season 2. It was so forgettable. I can't even remember what happened. Like, but it's just like everything they got, like everything that happened at the end of season 1, it tied up in a neat little bow. And then everything has been so unsatisfactory since then. Like Mike and 11 are together now, and it just felt unsatisfactory. And like immediately they like broke up. And then they had that episode where 11 went to Chicago to find like the other numbers, and it was horrible. It just felt like a completely different television show. And then they never brought it back because they're just throwing shit.
And
at
they
got
to play into like ship culture and things like that. It's like, jeez,
yeah, it's not good. It is legitimately past season 1 is great. I love season. It's one of my favorite. Like, I enjoyed watching that so much. And then since then, they've seemed out of their depth, and it's just been kind of the Marvel-fication of a television show where it's like, I didn't watch season 4, but I saw the what's the name of the new guy who the guy going like this.
Oh, Eddie.
When he's playing the guitar like in the upside down and all it's like, this is the corniest.
Yes, I once texted into the group chat, we should make more Eddie Munson content, and you asked me, what does that mean? Do more Eddie Munson content now, man.
Right. It's just and that's a very Marvel thing to do, is like, oh, we're gonna play the guitar and draw everything in.
What's wrong with playing the guitar?
Dude, Eddie Munson's like spoiler alert death scene is possibly like he did just straight up run into a field of bats, and I'd have to go rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure he like did not need to do it at all. Like he essentially just like was like, I cannot, I will not run anymore, and he runs into a field of bats
Right.
to fight them,
It's
and
just
it
like
instantly gets beat.
and like think about a legitimately like very good show, like Game of Thrones at the peak of its powers, or something like that. And think of it's like, what if instead of Rob dying because of this, like all these choices that he made. Sorry if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but Rob Stark dies. Like,
No.
imagine if instead there's so many choices that he makes throughout the whole thing that like lead him to the situation where it happens, and you can look back and it's like thing after thing after thing. And then like imagine if he died because he was playing guitar on top of a bus and he upside down to like distract the bat. Like it's spectacle. It's not really it's not really like that. So I don't know. It doesn't move me. I don't know.
Someone said Blaiden has nothing to contribute to this conversation because he's never.
Because he hasn't watched any TV shows that aren't Tom and Jerry, man.
I have not watched.
So, thoughts on The Office then?
Thoughts on literally the most popular television shows of all time. We could be talking about The Sopranos. We could talk about Stranger Things. We could talk about Lost. We could talk about Squid Game. We could talk about whatever show. He hasn't seen it unless it aired on Cartoon Network. So that's
no. I mean, I watch Netflix, but like, what are your thoughts on regular show? That's the real question. What are your thoughts on?
It's
Never seen it.
Fine for what it is. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but like it's
Hey,
not like
it's anything but, man.
It's not like that funny or anything.
It's pretty funny.
It's kind of got like one gag.
Which is everything goes wrong.
What they did is just so crazy.
but
it's ridiculous.
But
and
it's
makes
always
no
like,
sense.
it's always like, what is the most ridiculous thing that could possibly happen? Right
yeah, but
now?
it's like not ridiculous. It's like something that would be ridiculous to like like a kid, like a 10-year-old. Like, okay, this guy's gonna come down from the moon and we're gonna play basketball with him. Isn't that funny?
It's like it's like Phineas and
not
Ferb, which is like an amazing kid show. I think Phineas and Ferb genuinely has some like great moments, and I remember it very fondly. But it really only has like one plot that happens over and over and over again, right? So as an adult, like I'm not gonna sit there and yo, how is Ferb gonna get out of this one? Yo, bro, how is Phineas gonna get out of this one?
Actually, I think that Phineas and Ferb is considerably better than regular show.
Stop.
I've never seen regular show. So.
Phineas and Ferb, yes.
Phineas and Ferb is not
pretty
better
good.
than regular. No,
what other kids shows are like hold up?
So people want to know the best SpongeBob episode.
It's
the Imagination one, probably.
The
or maybe the one with the bear and they're in the circle. Those are the top two. The SpongeBob. Some SpongeBob episodes are pretty funny. They do have some like.
I agree.
The Imagination one's really funny, and them pissing off Squidward is. It's always a good time.
What's the one where they're in the band and like mayonnaise is an instrument? That's a great one.
That's my favorite, the band one. I think we've talked about this before.
We have.
Band Geeks is the best episode. I think the funniest thing to ever come out of SpongeBob, and something that kills me every time, isn't SpongeBob at all, but it's a YouTube video and a TikTok sound is where I know it from, where they're talking about Squidward's security system and how the mayor blames Squidward and gives him like, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. He's like giving this in-depth analysis, and they're like, this is where the Squidward hate porn really jumps the shark and continues for the rest of the series. And it's like this in defense of Squidward like YouTube video, and I keep wanting to use it for a TikTok video talking about how if there's a situation, I might do it for Herbert, and I don't want to do it for Herbert because I've talked so much about Herbert. But it's like just talking about how things that happen aren't Squidward's fault, but he gets all the flack for it. And I really want to use that for a video, but I'm trying to make it
that's like Lamar too.
Yes, but Lamar's not doing bad enough right now that he's getting blamed for much. So it needs to be someone who's like getting blamed for things that are not their fault. So if anyone has a player like that is not Justin Herbert that I can make that video on,
I saw a pretty funny SpongeBob meme the other day. I'm not gonna say. Maybe we shouldn't sit here and just describe SpongeBob memes we saw. I'll send it in the chat if I can find it again. It was pretty good.
Let me get a verbal essay of the SpongeBob meme.
Top 3 SpongeBob memes.
Ooh, Dak is a good one because he threw 2 picks to CD Lamb that were CD Lamb's fault. I'll make that JS. Good idea. I'll do Dak on the CD Lamb picks. And I'll do that because Dak, they were not his fault. I think Tyreek should be MVP.
Me.
Based, I fear. Tyreek MVP, sure. I'm down. I'm okay. If you're gonna push Saquon MVP and Tyreek MVP, I'm gonna say good take to you. I'm done with Corey has to be a quarterback. I'm gonna
technically,
say I'm done with that.
Only be a quarterback.
I still think Mahomes probably is, and Lamar. But if you're gonna say Tyreek and Saquon, I'll say those are very reasonable.
No, I think if you replace Mahomes with Saquon Barkley, the Chiefs are better.
Way better, dude. Yes. Talk about Kadarius Toney. He looked really good.
He might just be awesome from here on. I think that you got to see it for like a couple more games before you can really call it. You don't want to overreact, but if he has like 2 more good ones in a row, it's like, yeah,
he was sick. I mean,
he's just like it looks so easy for him. It's just so easy, you know.
If Debo can have an offensive player of the year type of year, why can't Kadarius Toney? Because he's better after the catch. He's better than everyone after the catch, and he's like he struggles with. He's just a lot like Debo. He can high point some balls. He has big hands, and he can go up and make tough catches. He just struggles with some of the easy ones and the concentration drops sometimes. But I mean, get him the ball in space, and he's literally the most dangerous player in the league in that area. So if Debo can have 1,500 yards or whatever he had, Kadarius Toney is capable of doing so. So, yeah, he's crazy. But yeah, he needs to stay healthy. I mean, that's why he was available for a 3rd-round pick. Guys who are injury prone tend to get injured a lot, and he'll probably get injured. He just every single game it seems to be. Enough about sports. Okay, I'm sorry.
What are your thoughts on Digbert Nelson?
Who? Awaken My Love, best Gambino album. This might be a hot take on this podcast, but I agree.
Wait, what's the best Gambino album?
Awaken My Love, but I know that is not that is a hot take.
I don't think it's that hot of a take because I think it's the second best album.
Okay.
Because Me and Your Mama is my favorite Gambino song. Redbone's good. Baby Boy's really good. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, Riot.
What do most people think?
Song off there.
What?
Riot's the best song off of
LP clears. Yeah. That's true though.
What do most people would go with? What? Because the internet probably.
I don't think that was on Awaken My Love.
No, I'm saying it's the best album.
Because I'm stupid. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I thought you said. Yeah, I think so. I think it's his best album.
Yes. I also like 3:15:20. I love me some
mid.
I don't know that many guys. I'm not the world's biggest Gambino fan, so I can't rank all of his albums.
I like him pretty good.
Yeah, I know that you guys are fans. I've never, and it's not even that I dislike him. I just don't find myself listening to him a whole bunch, and sometimes
he's one of those guys who has a lot of stuff that is this sucks. But because the internet's really good.
Yeah,
and also, I mean,
really good. Awaken My Love.
I'll always defend that one, but it's also something I liked when I was 15. So
yes,
it is what it is, but it still holds up. I think okay.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Do you think farts are funny? No, in the context of movies. If I watch a movie with a fart joke, I'll be or a TV show.
No, farts are not funny.
The reverb,
farts are funny, man.
The reverb sound on TikTok can get me. I'm not immune to that one.
This is your worst L yet.
It's a Family Guy.
It depends on the context.
A Family Guy episode fart joke, not funny. But if the same Family Guy episode comes up on TikTok, then it's funny.
Fart jokes
it's got to be
Sopranos,
reverbed.
Man.
It's got to be reverbed, otherwise.
Oh, okay. It's got to be. Alone at Prom. Alone at Prom is such a good album.
Who even is
That-
that? Who made that?
That's shit, not Joey Badass.
Tory Lane.
Yeah, Tory Lanez. That's Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
Alone at,
Never heard a Tory Lane song in my life. Gun to my head. you
listen
asked me
listen
name
to
one.
Alone at Prom. It's like
He shot.
it's
shot
very-
Megan Thee
it's
Stallion,
very
so
like-
I'm not boycotting Tory Lane's.
it's more R&B than hip hop. It's a lot. It's more like a Weekend album than it is like a Tory
Not
Lanez.
moving me, sadly.
Not moving you? Yo, stop.
The Weeknd is
Stop.
very okay. I get it. I like some of the Weeknd songs. I'm not listening to a Weeknd.
I'm not
album.
listening to.
Let me hear the
I'm
best
not. I'm
two
not a
songs
big.
he
I'm not
made
a
off
big
every
Weekend.
album.
I'm not a big Weekend fan. It was just a nice change of pace from Tory Lanez, and I thought he executed it really well. That's all. That is all.
Have you ever heard of rapper Drake?
Nah, I've heard he's mid.
He's the most overrated artist ever.
I've seen a lot less people like
Unironically.
hyping him up being like their favorite rapper recently. I think it's like a pretty hard
Stop.
position to defend.
It's pretty hard to defend.
He is
and
the most like Theo. You're right. He is the most overrated artist of all time.
yes,
easily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
he's-
is.
But the streaming numbers, like shut up, bro.
I mean, he's got some good projects and some good songs, but like nothing great. Like, oh my god, this is an 8, 9, 10. I'd give it. He's got like some 6.5s, some 7s.
Nice
But,
for What is his best song,
Nice for
and that's
what?
because he samples.
Nah, his best song is
song.
anything with Meek Mill.
Meek
Sadly.
Mill is like
He doesn't. He hates Meek Mill. They got in a
Mhm.
big fight. How many songs
I-
does he have with Meek Mill?
A lot.
Does he? I thought they hated each other.
I thought that they like
beefed. I thought
they beefed for a minute, but then I thought they made up. But like they have a decent amount of songs together. But the songs that they had together originally were like before the beef.
no. Hold on.
Like,
I'm getting some hate in here for this The Weeknd take. Let me tell you something. Next time you're listening to The Weeknd album, who doesn't spell his name right, which I think is like, is there a reason for that I don't know, or is that just like his little quirk? You are not him. You don't live that life. That's not you, dog.
What are your guys' thoughts on Duckworth, the artist?
Never heard of him. This is some weird Blaiden.
Nah, this is not a weird Blaiden artist. He has like 3 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Blaiden,
That's
you know you
really
bring
not
up
that
like
many.
you bring up artists who have like 50,000 monthly listeners. I'm not saying this is that case, but
I
you know
know.
you do this, and you'll be
I
like,
do.
does anybody know?
But Duckworth is not one. He's like one of the most popular R&B artists out right now.
Oh, he did start a riot. Oh, he came to my. Okay, this is how popular Duckworth is. I live in a town with 2 colleges. One is Carleton College. It probably has people like 7,000 people go there. It's a very small liberal arts school. Duckworth performed there as their spring concert. It was Duckworth. So that's about how big Duckworth is.
I
But,
like Duckworth. I think he's a really good artist. I don't know how good he is live, but
I don't know either.
this is like the music that he makes. Like, Super Good is a great album. I love that album a lot.
He did
You guys
start a
really know
riot
music,
from one of
man.
the best super movies. He did start a riot.
Yeah, he
which
did.
was
He
in
did do. Yeah.
the best superhero movie of all time, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So
Oh, that's my big controversial take. Is that
you
that
know,
movie's like it's good.
This is
Nice.
basically when Blaine was like, "What do you mean? Everyone knows the two Browns
What was
songs
what
that
was
come
the
out
guy
every-"
who you said had the best album of 2021?
Jiraiya, Jhariah. Jiraiya is great.
He has 228.
He's gotten decently popular. Spotify literally had him do like an event where him and this like Spanish guitarist did like a collaborative song. They like flew them out to New York and they were in a studio for a week and they made this song. It was really good. So like, he
Okay.
has some clout. He's on tour right now, which is really cool.
J. Cole or Kendrick? I kind of
This
thought
is
that we were like
not
Pat.
even-
This was like a
This is
2017
not a
debate,
debate.
no? It's
Yes.
like Kendrick. Like J.
Kendrick
Cole has
Lamar-
not put out something that great, and
He's
a little
a
while.
long time, man.
It's been a
Like,
minute.
It's been a long time since J. Cole.
But the problem is that like J. Cole, who I don't hate, but he's in that like group of artists where it's like people decide they like the album far before it comes out, and it's like not that fun to talk about.
Yeah. Cole, yeah, I'm not the world's biggest J. Cole fan at all. I think he had one of the worst songs ever. I think it's called Snow on the Bluff, where he was saying something and someone called him out. And then he like had this response track and he was basically, I'm not that smart. It was the message of Snow on the Bluff. It was the stupidest thing ever because he's like, his whole thing is like, oh my God, he's so lyrical. And he said, I can't even remember what argument it says. Yeah.
Was it with No Name?
Yes. He says, my IQ is average. There's a young lady out there. She's way smarter than me. She's like, she's mad at everything and thought I was like, I don't know. I truly don't know. That was just one of the dumbest like fake deep responses that really was stupid that I think has ever happened. But yeah, I thought that was bad. But yeah, J. Cole, I mean, he's got some good stuff. I'm not going to sit here and deny that like 2014 Forest Hills Drive was like a bad album or anything. Like, it was good, but like
everything Kendrick has released is better.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So. Doom is better than Kanye. I tend to agree, but I know that's not.
I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be a popular take, but also I can't really support Kanye right now. So
Kanye, yeah. I feel for everyone who has him in their Spotify top 5, but
bro, no, he's gonna be number 1. He's gonna be I'm gonna be in like the top 1% or like the top 0.1% of listeners for Kanye.
I see. This is why I don't play that game. So I'm not posting mine. I will never post mine. You will never see it.
Can we know what it is?
No, I'm not, because
yo, come on, dog.
If I were to put this in the group chat, would I feel 100% safe? Truly and honestly? No.
What am I gonna do? Post it?
I don't even think there's gonna be anything like that fucking bad on there, other than like maybe Kanye will be on there, but I don't know. I can't have that in the back of my mind as I'm playing my songs. I must know peace.
Fair enough. What do you guys
Over the last month, my most listened to artist is the guitarist Marty Friedman. If you know who Marty Friedman is,
no one knows who that is.
He's one of the most. Okay, there's like a group of guitarists. Do you know who Steve Vai is?
Doesn't he follow us?
No, that's Herman Lee.
Oh, that's a different Lee, not Vai. Okay.
Yeah. But Herman Lee isn't in that group, but he's like a byproduct of that group. Like Herman Lee watched these guys. It's like Marty Friedman, Jason Becker, Steve Vai, and there's like those are like the 3 fundamental elite guitarists. Like if you could have like a PhD in guitar, those 3 would have a PhD. Like they are fundamentally better than everyone else that plays guitar.
When are you getting up there, man?
When I learned to, there's a clip that I might just like have to post on TikTok of Steve Vai playing. I can't remember the song title now. It's a live performance of, and I'm like, if you can learn to do that, like he basically does every trick that any guitarist could ever do in a single riff, and it's like a minute long. When you can do that, you have a PhD in guitar.
Polyphia. I do know Polyphia. Brendan.
Polyphia.
Tim Henson. I know Tim Henson. Yeah. Tim Henson is crazy.
Yes. Polyphia is good.
Tim Henson is, I had a fight with my girlfriend about this, actually, about Tim Henson, because she loves Tim Henson and thinks he's like the greatest guitarist, and I think he is like really good, but he uses it to play the most like mid songs I've ever heard in my life. Like he'll like do something crazy and it literally sounds like elevator music. I'm like, what? Why would I just listen to this? It's like, it's like a little acoustic like riff, and it's like crazy technically proficient, but it's like I would never ever ever turn this on and like listen to them. So that's my Polyphia take in my
Polyphia has like there's a couple songs that I think if you're if you want to listen to like a good Polyphia song, Goat is really good. It's basically just like if you could imagine like a rap battle with like every instrument in the band. Like basically everyone gets a solo over this song and it sounds really cool. And then there's like Aviator. Those are the two that I would say are like worth.
All right.
Like
Well,
really
I'll
worth a
check those
listen.
out. I'll check those out. But
But I don't know. Polyphia is like they're talented, but they don't excite the way that like Vi and Friedman and Becker do. And Becker's great. I made a tweet. Becker's the greatest guitarist of all time, like over Hendrix, simply because he was like a child prodigy of like 13 years old doing shit that Van Halen was doing. And then he like was diagnosed with ALS and they told him he had 5 years to live and he has lived like 32 years since then. And
Damn.
he's
Gary
and
could
he
never.
and he like he can't play guitar, he can't move, but he still produces and he writes music for other, and he has like surrogates like Marty Friedman and Steve Vai will like play his music that he writes. And they wrote an album together called it was like Valley of some, I can't remember, but it is released in 2018 and it is like the like if you think about like it is the like coming together of like the greatest guitarist in the world to like make this album. It's phenomenal. It's a great
That
listen.
sounds awesome. I will not check it out.
I know. No one's gonna go listen to it, but it's so like phenomenal and fun, and it's like a great. It's just like
Matt,
a great story.
The people want a corner review. You want to close out with? Do you have anything to
Matt, do
say
you have a
about
corner
any
review for
Matt
us?
interview before we head out here?
No, I don't have anything. I don't have any new corn opinions. Guys, I just buy the Del Monte Southwest type, and
Have you
that's
done a
it.
review on that one?
Yeah, maybe I haven't. I mean, it's the best one. It's not, but it's kind of bogus because the difference between the Southwest and the regular is just like there's peppers in there, and it's good. I like that more, but is that like really deserving of another corn review if it's just like, well, there's now another food here? That seems.
You know, Matt, all I know is that our boy Zach gave you a can of corn.
I asked him for it for the
that-
sake of reviewing it, and it's sitting downstairs, and I have not reviewed it.
Yeah. What's up with that?
You know, I've got a lot of things going on. I don't
like
have
golfing? Like
Yeah.
It's important. Blaiden scared all the views away.
Bro, we still have like 230 viewers. Like, shut the hell up.
Yeah, I don't know. I've run out of things to say. I've got to get on with my.
Yeah.
Good job with the title.
As much as I'd love to keep talking about guitarists.
You know what? Don't hate the player, man. Hate the game.
I don't hate that.
But
Yeah.
thank you all so much for tuning in. Tons of content coming in all platforms. Got a Theo Wall 22 on the way. If you haven't watched Matt's tier list on quarterbacks, make sure you do that. And then, of course, I'll have a Madden video coming out this Friday.
Oh, it's on YouTube. That's why.
What?
That's why I didn't see it. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube.
What? Oh. Did you expect it on, like, Twitter?
I was like, why did I miss the tweet about it? I thought you were just tweeting out like a.
Nah, it was his YouTube. Yeah.
No, I just.
Wow.
No, but
Quick.
yeah, now it's clear that Theo's a fake fan.
I am.
Theo, you like don't follow the podcast on Twitter?
Because I'm logged into the account. Why would I follow it? I know what we
follow
say.
your own podcast.
Yeah,
man.
I think I do follow it too. I think I do. I think I didn't when we first made it, but now I think I do. I think we've had this conversation, but
okay.
I don't follow it on TikTok because we just post clips from the podcast, and so like I was there, you know.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I follow it so I can I turn on notifications so I can like retweet stuff. That's
You turn on notification. It's your podcast. you could just tweet the things.
No, but like if something gets tweeted out that like I don't know, like I want to be able to see it.
Fair enough.
And I'm not. I don't know. You know what?
Theo's not a real Stay Hot fan. I am Stay Hot. No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a Theo Ash NFL fan. I'm Theo Ash NFL. But the All 22 this week is on Justin Jefferson. Check it out. It's on a deep dive on all 10 of his catches versus the Bills and ranking them from 10 to 1. So, and debating if his catch at the end, the 4th and 18 one, was the best catch of all time or not.
It might be.
Touch on that.
It might be.
It might be, but I don't think it is. To spoiler it, I do think I still do prefer the Odell Beckham catch because I think that one just I'll explain in the video. Let's get out of here.
You want to go watch the video, and we of course have an episode coming out Thursday. As always, tons and tons of content coming away on all platforms. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And from Corn Boy, Bird Boy, and Lemon Boy, we will catch you all on the flippity flop.